Hello, it's Sharon here and I'm live here on my page to show you a demo. If you saw my post earlier, or if you're jumping over here from Instagram, hello, because I did a story over there telling you that here I am doing this live. We're going to be making these little wooden houses, so just wanted to show you a little stencil trick and also to let you know that I will be going live over on Essential Stencils page in about an hour. So don't miss that one either, because I'll be showing you a little crate hack for a Christmas tree box. So you don't want to miss that. Industrial style, farmhouse style, if you love all of that kind of thing, that'll be great. So today I am using some of Essential Stencils mini tag collection. So they have a few different Christmas mini tags, and in the description of the post up the top of this live you'll see a link to where you can get your Essential Stencils, and you can order those and get 10% off by using my coupon code IRestoreStuff at the checkout. Today all I used for these, I mean you can use any of them just as sort of a tag itself and stick it on a little house like this. But for these ones I just used mainly one of them, which was this, I used a couple actually, didn't I? Tree Farm mini tag to create, so I just want to show you how you can vary the stencils, use bits and pieces here, the little Christmas trees here, to create some little wooden houses. So let's get started. I'm using Fusion Mineral paint today, but I pre-painted these already earlier, and you can see I've sort of sanded it back. This is using Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint. So if you're in Australia, you can order that online from my website, irestorestuff.com. So it's Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint, gives a lovely farmhouse porous feel, matte feel paint. Remember that chalk paint and milk paint are both porous paints, so they do need a top coat or a finish, whereas Fusion Mineral paint has a built-in top coat and you don't need to wax it or seal it to finish, although that is an option if you like to be extra protective. I'll just pop these on here so you can have a little look and see those stencil styles. If you have any questions as we're going along, please pop them in the comments and let me know that you're here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Is it hot in your neck of the woods, or is it cold? Are you in the USA and having snow? That would be interesting. Right, so for the first one, I am going to add a little Tree Farm sign to the top here. So what I've done, so when you're making these, here's my example. I hope we've got that in there. That's the biggest one I chose. You can get these, and all I have done is used offcuts of wood. And don't ask me what size. Celia's helping me today. She's always a good helper with this kind of thing. Aren't you, Celia?
Yeah, but I have no idea what size. We fudged
yes, we don't know what size, but just they're offcuts of wood. Choose your sizes according to the stencils if you want to. I just had these random bits of wood. So I'm going to make I've tried to make a little barn door there. This one is not going to fit a barn door underneath it because it's very much smaller, but it is the taller out of these three sides that I'm using today. So to do that, I'm going to tape a little bit. I'm just going to check that your live's all going well. Might have to scroll down that page several bits and pieces. Keep going down, 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 down. Just checking that we're live. So folks, if you can see us, tap the like button or the share button or something so we can see. Did you refresh the page?
I did.
Okay.
I did again.
We just want to know that you're there. All right, we're going to use some of my favourite Christmas colours to use this year are Fusion's Bayberry for the green and Cranberry. They're just those beautiful vintage kind of green and red, not your traditional hollyberry red. So to use our green for the Christmas tree, again with stenciling, you'll need a newspaper or an old piece of cardboard.
Yes.
And as always, I like to put a rubber band on the end of my brushes, just to, if they're long, so I use my Klingon round brushes or my oval brushes, and just tighten the bristles at the end, because they're nice and flexible for when you're working on furniture, but if you want a stencil, you want some nice shorter bristles so that it's more firm to do your swirling or stippling, whichever you prefer. Those are the technical terms. I don't know if they are, but that's what we'll call them. All right, so we've got a little bit of the green just from out of the lid there. I've wiped excess off into the container and just want to get a dry brush. That means just wipe off as much as you can onto the newspaper. And actually, forgot to tape this a little bit. So we're going to have lots of little bits of tape all around. Are you seeing that?
Yep.
We're taping up the little sections that we don't want to stencil. So I just want the green tree. So I'm going to be just taping up underneath that tree, around the tree. So we just get the tree. So I've got my brush ready. I feel like I'm going to dip my apron thing in the paint. And I'm just doing a little swirling. There we go. Don't forget we're going to be on Essential Stencils page in about an hour. So at 11 o'clock Brisbane time or 7 p.m. CST if you're in the USA. Showing you a live on another DIY project using their stencils. It's a lot of fun. All right, I've done my tree. How easy and quick was that? So removing that now. No, I don't want to remove it because I'm going to add just the tree farm section, I think, like I've done on here.
We have got Katana from USA, Indiana, Elwood. I have to go look these places
Right,
up.
guys.
And a few other peeps.
Indiana?
Yeah, and
USA.
snow.
Oh, it's snowing in lots of places over there. If you can be praying for Australia right now because we are having lots of fires, lots of bushfires happening here in Australia, which is really devastating
Yeah.
all over the place. So,
Wait.
okay, I'm going to use a little bit of coal black now just for the tree farm section and just these little bits. Oh, I've got that. Looks like it's off-centered, but I think my roof is slightly different sided, which is cool.
Asymmetrical is in.
There we go. So I've got a tiny little bit on the end of the brush and wiping that off. Thanks for watching here today, guys. Really appreciate you being here. Oh, I don't want to get onto that tree, but I don't want to tape it necessarily because I've just painted it. So I'm just going to be super careful. Can you see what I'm doing enough? Is it doing that zoom trick? Did you
No,
try that?
I tried and
Oh.
it doesn't zoom in.
I'm hoping that it would zoom in on the
Oh,
phone.
it just did.
Oh, there we go.
That's the third
We-
time I've
We
tried.
have success with the zoom.
Woo!
All right, we're
Small
going to make a
things
little
excite
tree
us.
farm sign on the front of our building. We'll call it a barn. And I just use the swirly method for my stenciling, if you've watched stenciling videos of mine before. And don't forget, there's plenty on my YouTube channel. That's I Restore stuff on YouTube as well as everywhere else on social media. You can follow my Pinterest board if you want to over there, if your Pinterest account. All right, so I don't want it on this little tree down here. So I'm just going to grab my tape over there just in case the brush gets too close to those letters.
And we have Amanda, hi from Newfoundland, or Newfoundland, I don't know how you say that, Canada.
Hey,
I love
lovely.
Canada.
Welcome, thanks for joining us.
And Joe from East Texas.
Have you been to Canada, Celia?
I have.
Oh, how lovely.
I
All
got
right,
and
we go.
Tupelo, Mississippi.
are we stuck here?
How
Here we go.
quick and easy. Oops.
All right, so there's my little tree farm. You notice it's a little bit darker than this one here. That's because I've sanded to distress this one, which I'll show you that right at the end when I'm finished.
Yay.
So there's my one of my little, what do you call them? Wooden houses.
So
Next
cute.
one, what will we do? We've got this little car, and I think that's super cute. So let's do the car on this next size. So for our car, we want it to sit right down on the ground. I do anyway, I'm just pretending. And it doesn't have to be centered. You can do it off center a little bit like I've done with this one. You can see I've just pushed it off to the side, and then I've placed a window just sort of off center here to just give it a little bit of balance to the sign. Okay. So I'm going to tuck the tyres. Look, they could even be right down because they could be stuck in snow or something. And so yes, as I mentioned, in Australia, it is hot at Christmas time. If you saw my latest post on my site here, on my page, I showed you a DIY Christmas tree hack that I did last year from a $5 Christmas tree from Kmart. And I created a flocked tree. So I used fake snow, stuck on the fake snow, just made it feel a lot cooler in our hot weather here. All right, so I'm using cranberry, gorgeous colour. If you're in Australia, don't forget you can order any of these off my website, irestorestuff.com. Lots of Christmas fun. Look, this paintbrush is the one to go. If I mentioned before why I put rubber bands at the end to just kind of make that a little bit tighter and firmer. But you also can use some painter's tape. So I'll just go ahead and do that, Celia, instead of worrying about another rubber band. There's another idea. So just taping the brush up further, closer to the ends of the bristles, just to make it a little bit more firm for your stenciling needs. And what I want to do with this one, I just want the truck. So I've got to tape off the tree, because we'll be doing that later. Here's some tape that I had from earlier, and it just fits. There we go. Look at that. Even blends to the shape of the tree. How are you going with that zoom in?
I'm loving it. I'm playing with it so much today. It's finally working. Oh dear.
Video technology skills are increasing by the moment.
Yes.
All right.
Central Florida, Missouri.
Oh, nice. Thank you guys for letting me know where you're coming in from. Is there any Australians here?
Aussie.
Yeah, come on, Aussies.
And Kiwis and Canadian. I love Canada. I went to Toronto. It was awesome.
Oh, lovely. Okay, so I'm wiping off again. I've got beautiful cranberry here, and I just want to do the truck. So you could get all technical and fussy and make the tyres black if you wanted to. That's another idea. You could be taking off that. It may even be better, because this is it's such a tiny stencil, to do the tyre black with a Sharpie at the end. You could just actually do that. I'm a little worried I'm going to get some paint on the block, my wood block there. So feel like, see if it's too, if there's not enough on your brush, it will be a little bit lighter. But guys, honestly, you can always add more. But if you add too much paint on your brush, you will get it bleeding under the edges, and you won't get a nice clean stencil line. So, and the other thing is that this is really, it lends to sort of a farmhouse rustic decor anyway. So really having it just like this, with just a little bit and a bit random and patchy, is not always a bad thing. So I could make that darker, or might just choose to leave it lighter like that. See, still works out great, but we'll leave the stencil there, because next we want to be doing our tree. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this tape here, which is covering up our tree. And now I want to cover the truck, but hopefully it won't take off. I'm going to blow it dry, ready? It does dry fairly quickly, because Fusion Mineral Paint is a furniture paint, and it does tend to dry super fast.
Especially in this weather.
Yes, especially in our hot weather right here today. So I've got a little bit of tape here and there, so it's a little bit of a hodgepodge of stuff. And I want to just tape over that Christmas sign there, because it's a little bit too close to the tip of the tree. Just grab my little green brush that I was using before, and that's the colour Bayberry.
Thanks, Brandy. We'll catch you later on the other live.
Thanks so much for watching. Yeah, I'll join you on the other live. There's our tree at the back of the truck. Yeah, so our live on Essential Stencil page is just going to be in a little while. It'll be 11 a.m. Brisbane time. That's my time zone here in Australia. And 7 p.m. CST. So work that out wherever you are in the world, and you'll be able to watch it live there. So here comes our truck. And no, it didn't take off the paint from the truck, so that worked out really nicely. I'm happy with that. So now we have a truck similar to this one. You'll see that this one's a little darker. Can you tell what I did? I'll give you a couple of guesses, but see if anyone can guess why this one's slightly darker. I wonder what Sharon did. Celia's guessing.
Oh yeah, I know.
You think you know what I did?
Yeah, probably, because I know what I would have done, so yeah.
Okay, so our next little idea that I wanted to show you was, what did I do on my third one? Oh, some little trees. Yes, let's do some little trees, and then we'll get to the black section. So since we've got our green brush going here, let's get green going strong. And here we go. Here's some trees. This one It says farm, fresh Christmas trees. Cute little mini tags for all sorts of things. Great gift tag idea. So we're going to pop the trees just down the bottom on the, what's that, left side? Right.
Left side for you.
The
and
side
me.
for me, I'm trying to
Yep,
figure out
right
what
on.
it is for you.
Oh, no,
Right.
it's right on ours. Sorry.
Right on your
I
side.
missed it. Yep.
Okay.
And
yeah.
Amanda says you painted cranberry over black.
I kind
on
of
the
did.
other one.
Well, here's the truth of the matter.
Mm.
I was using a brush and I didn't want to dirty another brush. I was using a black brush and I thought, you know, it's pretty dry. Like I had wiped it all off on here, dipped it in my little bit of cranberry, and it actually made a nice colour. It's that, it's almost like that, you know, what I'm trying to say, that vintage old car look.
Very.
There we
yes.
go, hey?
A little bit of a pattern of rust on it, maybe.
Yeah.
That rusty Holden
Yes,
Ute.
there you go. Oops, this tree is very close to the hole up here, so you may want to cover that. I'm just going to use my finger to cover the hole. I like the way that the trees, when I'm doing this swirly method, you can get them to almost look bushy with a little bit of stippling at the end. So there we go. Aren't they cute? Cutest little trees. And you could even get a little bit of brown or black or put down on the base of your trees there just to finish them off. What else have we got? I did put another little tree over to the other side, or you can just leave them like this. I think I have got room just to put a little window here, again with my fun roof going this way and then that way. I love it. You cut these for me, didn't you, Celia? Thank you so
did.
much, and they're very cute.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So next we're going to do some more of the black.
Yeah,
I do have to watch the time here, but I think we're going well
we are.
because look, I want to sit down. Why am I even standing up? Okay, so we've got our cranberry and our bayberry.
We need a cherry.
A cherry colour.
Roxanne says cherry colour.
Oh yeah, so that's probably what she's talking about. This kind of almost looks like that deep dark cherry colour. That is so true. So you can mix your fusion colours, you know. There's been some great custom colours made with fusion mineral paint, which is really awesome. So I am looking for here it is. Right, guys, here's a tip for you. Here's how I did the lines. You're probably not going to believe this, but it was fairly simple, but ultra technical. I used these little black lines here to make my windows. So that's what we're going to do right here and right now. And let's just hope we have straight windows. Whoop. Got my black that's already on my brush, but I'll just tap it on the edge a bit more, get a little bit more on the brush. And you really don't need a lot of, oops, a lot of push on these ones, just a little wriggle, and I've got a black line. So then we just lift it up, pop it down again, and you can either pop it right beside, or I'll make my window go a little bit on the longer side. Oh, we do want to, I'll do my best to do a right angle, guys. We'll do our best. Okay, there should be enough on the brush to even do that one. And rustic is good.
Super cute.
But see how you can just really just utilise every area of a stencil to create all sorts of things. Okay, going that way. Just make sure that you create this line the same way that you did the other line by, if you went inside the top line, go inside. If you went outside the top line, do that. So the other line fits down at the bottom.
Okay, there's a thing I would never have thought of. Good point.
Yep. Right. Ooh. This is a bit wider, this brush, and it nearly came off the end there. Okay, last little bit, and then I'll do the cross areas as well. So then it should just fit across there. And what's some other ways you could do this, guys? You could just get a Sharpie and a ruler and just draw them on, but this seemed so much more fun. You could make windows that way. And find a window stencil that's the right size. But alright, so to do our centre bits, this is the tricky bit. You've got to kind of eye where your stencil line is and where your middle is. And then I just slide it up and hope for the best. See if we got it in the centre. Time will tell. A bit more on our brush. So don't forget, there's a link at the top to show you where you can buy Essential Stencils Christmas sets. There's a bunch of beautiful Christmas stencils on their site. They ship from the USA. If you're in Australia, get in now if you want it before Christmas. Hopefully there would be. That's a... Yeah, you may. Sure. That could be a courier.
Yes. All right.
But we'll see. Okay. So I've got to get the cross there. There we go. I've got it right across there. Let's see how good a job I did. There we go. How's that? Am I in the right spot?
Yes, you are. It looks great. They are so cute.
There's the window.
Oh, Sherry said put a little white on the trees, make it look like snow.
I know. I've done that before with some Christmas tree stencils. Yes, you could just add a little bit, just a little tiny bit on your brush, dry your brush right off with the white, and just a little tiny speckle. It looks extra cute. So I'll just do that again. If you want to see that one more time, we'll pop a little window up here. Not sure which side to go now. Maybe one window right in the top centre would be cute.
I like that idea.
There we go. So let me know some of your DIY stenciling ideas that you've been working on, that you're about to work on. Has anyone used these stencils? Has anyone joined the Essential Stencils Stencil of the Month Club yet? Let me know in the comments. That opens up, I believe, this Friday, or it's open now to join, but we're going to be all popping in on the Facebook group if you're a member of the Stencil of the Month Club this Friday, which is tomorrow for me, but so it will really be Saturday for me. Friday for you. We're a day ahead here in Australia. I'll let you know what the weather's like. No, it doesn't work that way. All right.
Yeah, those races will let you know who won, not.
What races?
I don't know anything.
Oh.
Anything
yes.
From the future. Kelly joined the Stencil of the Month Club.
Oh, yeah, Kelly, I'll see you in there. I'll be there on Friday when the Facebook group opens up. That's going to be so much fun. Okay. Oh, yeah. It's kind of scented. What do you think? It's working. Now I can't remember if I went under or over that line, but just winging it here again. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And if you know anyone who likes DIY, crafty, stenciling techniques, just feel free to sprinkle the love, press that little share button, and tell your friends.
Amanda Roberts is joined, and
the Stencil Club.
The Stencil Club, and she's taping the vertical stencil on a piece of stained.
She's doing that right now as she watches. Is that correct?
Yeah, sounds like she's doing it right now.
It's such a great idea. You can watch lives and actually be doing a project at the same time. It's the same kind of thing as podcasts. Does anyone listen to podcasts? I just listen to them in the car while I'm driving. I just tell Siri to play my podcast, and there she goes. Opens it up for me.
Yay. Hi, Missouri, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole from Missouri.
And Donna and everybody else.
Just need a little bit more on my brush. We're nearly done, guys. We have and I wanted to show you one more thing. So these will need sealing at the end, so we just seal it with you can use a top coat sealer. It still has a matte finish. Miss Mustard Seeds, Milk Paint Products and Fusion Mineral Paint both have their tough coat sealer that you can seal your pieces with.
Do you find any of the top coats, like your tough coat sealer and stuff, do they react to the Sharpie and make it bleed over your paint?
Oh, I haven't noticed that. No, they don't, because I do use, do I? Yes, I have used Sharpie and sealed signs before. So if you go to my YouTube channel, I'll show you how to add graphics to furniture or signs. So if you don't have a stencil, if there's something that you want to make yourself and you haven't got a stencil for it, you can always use carbon paper, that's how I do it. Print out what you need, like a family name, for example, and you print it out what you need, put a little piece of carbon paper underneath and trace over it. Then I use a Sharpie to fill all in the words or whatever I need on the sign. Then I'll seal it with that Tough Coat sealer. I haven't had any trouble with that. Did someone ask that, or you just asked?
That's me actually, because I have had trouble with it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm using up supplies of water-based varnish that from other art craft stuff, and it bleeds and it's a pain.
All right, just checking on the time, but I don't see it there.
No, 10:25.
All right, so we'll just finish up by showing you, and you could, on this one, you could add something down the bottom. I just feel like it would be a little bit too much, whereas this one is a lot larger, so we've got a bit more space to play with on that one. But I hope you like this. I'll grab my sanding glove.
And hi, Robin from WA. Woo woo.
Hey, Robin.
And I did see the idea about having a little an arrow to make the stems on the trees.
Yes.
That's
okay.
it. For your tree from,
oh, like an
from
arrow.
Roxanne, to use for your tree stumps.
Yeah.
But again, I'd Sharpie it too.
Yep, great ideas. All right, and these are really very versatile stencils. So like you see, you can use them on all sorts of projects. I'm going to show you some more versatility in a minute over on Essential Stencils page, using some of their stencils to create a tree box, a tree crate. So these are my Sandy Hands sanding gloves, which you can only get in Australia and the UK, Europe at this stage. So they were invented by my auntie who's on the Sunshine Coast. So a big shout out to her, because today is Jenny's 60th birthday. Can I say that out loud? She's 60.
She's
Yay,
awesome.
Auntie Jenny.
Woo-hoo.
Happy birthday to you. And we're using your Sandy Hands gloves.
Yay.
Yay for you. So they come with Velcro grits. So you can order these on my website as well. Just look up in the shop for Sandy Hands gloves. And so we're just going to do a little, make it a little bit more rustic like this. So it's not so bright of a tree. So yeah, sanding gloves are so good for spindles of chairs. They save your nails. They save the dry skin that you can sometimes get with just doing lots of sanding paint and that kind of thing. So, my little cloth, probably not the wet one, I'll just grab a dry one and dry that off. And you can see it's just toned down that darkness there and created more of a rustic feel. Same with my bright red car and my windows. We just want to just give it a little rustic rough up. And I actually pre-sanded these blocks as well, so you'll see these little rustic bits here of knots in the wood. There we go. And a tree. You can even see, oh, that looks like snow, guys.
Yep.
We've got a little bit of
Texture
coming through, because you can see the paint through there, so it's almost like you've got snow on those trees. So more rough on that tree.
And we have Lynn High and Jerry, who visited Queensland in July for her son's wedding to a lovely Aussie girl.
Oh, wow. Yay.
Nice.
Aussie wedding. So that's lovely. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Now, so all you would need to do then is to seal that with some kind of sealer. You can use waxes, hemp oil, Tough Coat, wipe-on poly, all of those things, and you get a lovely surface that you can then sit. Now, the great thing about these too, the other thing I did do was I just did this dry brushing. Let me show you that. I just used my black to make it look like a bit more roof-like. So I just used whatever was left on the brush. See, it's not very much. So that would be called a dry brushing kind of technique. So we go from that to just adding a little bit more, and it just picks up on the highlight points and the textured parts of the end grain of the wood. So there you go, and you get a nice little rustic roof. Let's do it for this one, just to show you one more time.
Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, see how it picks up on those little cut bits at the end there too, and also on the edges. So then you can sand back those edges if you don't want it so black on the end or not. But yeah, it creates a lovely little roof texture. So the other thing I wanted to mention too is that, say Christmas is over and you thought, but I still like those cute little houses, you just simply flip them around like this, put them on your mantle, and they're still good to go for a little bit of decor for whatever season. And imagine you could decorate that with hearts for Valentine's or whatever season. You just make these little houses into whatever you would like them to be. So thank you guys so much for watching today, and I'll see you, if you have the time, can watch Essential Stencil in about however long that is, half an hour or something like that. So thanks so much for watching this live today, and I'll see you in a little while over on Essential Stencils. Don't forget the coupon code is IRISStoreStuff. Chuck that in at the checkout at Essential Stencils website. You get 10% off your stencil order. See you later. Bye.
Bye.